Good morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, we are not going to have a rollback. I did not come back to the model table yesterday and fool around with LEDs. Okay, may as well just look at the picture of our Rodney here. I got it so you can see it. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, got a comment from a viewer. Now these kind of comments are really helpful. Now he's also doing the Iowa, and he's quite a bit ahead of me. And he was mentioning how when he gets to step 26, he's got a bit of a problem because he spent a lot of time trying to, some of you probably saw the comment, he spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to position these K9s in relation to the, well, they're not gun tubs, they're the other kind of tub. Anyway, in other words, the manual had it wrong. And when I was showing the K-sprue yesterday, he happened to see the very parts that he needed, and he thought to himself, hey, that's what it is. And so when he checked it out, he realized the Trumpeter was trying to get us to position K9s underneath these little tubs. Well, if I think of it, I will have superimposed on the screen what I'm looking at here so that you can see it nice and clear too. I mean, I usually do that if I remember. I don't always, you might be looking at it right now, but I might not be doing it for 2-3 hours. And sometimes I forget. Anyway, yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write in my manual here, that basket L32 is supported by K22 and basket L42 is supported by K21. Well, that's the kind of thing that's going to really be helpful to me because I may not be at step 26 for a long time, especially at the rate I'm going. We're never going to get to our Yamato, are we? Well, I'm still thinking about it. I really am. Give me something to look forward to. As I've said before, if I get it and it's in my stash, I know that I have a future. Yeah. All right. Right now I have no stash. I gave my metal Yamato. My son has it right now. I don't know how he's managing with it, but anyway, I have absolutely no stash. I think it was military modeler Paul sent us a photo, and in that photo he's got a stack of models in the background. In behind the photo of his compressor, and I'm thinking, my goodness, what's wrong with me? And I think I was watching, I think was it Nigel or somebody else I was watching, and in the background is a whole pile of stash. And I don't have anything. Anyway, let's continue on here, and I should really take and write this in the manual like I said I was going to. Yeah, I can well imagine that in all likelihood there's a lot of people have this particular kit because it is quite affordable if you wanted to have a 1/200 scale ship that really impressed people. Well, this Iowa kit is probably the way to go because I think it's a little bit more affordable than the Missouri. And yeah, anyway. What are we doing here? Okay, so basket L32 uses K22. Okay, and L42 uses 21. Okay, that's not my neatest printing, but it should catch my attention when I get to that. And I'll see that I've scratched out the K9 here, and I'll know what went wrong. Because I might not be on this step, what is it, number 26 here, for quite a while. Okay, now for step 13, in this section right here, I know that we have to get the piece of photo etch, or two of them actually, because we have to make two of these. but I may as well get the rest of the plastic parts here. And they are all singles. And each one of these is made up of 3 pieces. And I was noticing that at first I thought, what is the difference between number C here and D here? They both look the same. And I was thinking, okay, yeah, I can see the top of the capstan or whatever this is supposed to be is different. And so I imagine it would be possible, if I didn't mark these, to get the wrong one in the wrong place here. Like, for instance, we got A, B, C, D, and E. And where am I going with this? I guess where I'm going with this is I better get myself out 5 tuna fish tins and label them. Excuse me, so I don't accidentally get the stuff mixed up. Okay, let's just do that here. Okay, so here we go. For part A, we need 22, 55, and 67. And 22 is right here. I bet you I couldn't do that again if I tried. Okay, 55 is right here. And 67 just happens to be attached to it, so that's convenient. Okay, just do that 4 more times and trim them up and glue them together. Now, I want to thank all the people that got back to me about, dimming LEDs. A lot of you folks are way more into electronics than I am. I just sort of dabble in it. As I said before, I just know enough to get my fingers burned. Anyway, I was talking about not having a breadboard. So this morning I went on Amazon and I checked out breadboards. And I realized that by the time you buy, get a breadboard and then get some jumper cables for it, you pretty much, paid this much here. And so I ordered this little kit right here, and it comes with potentiometers, like Tony was mentioning, that you take a potentiometer and find out what the resistance is that you need to get your LED to, and then you can hardwire a proper resistor in. Well, this comes with a bunch of little resistors, and so let me bring it up here. Okay, yeah, so as you can see, I bought it this morning, so it's going to be here on Sunday, and yeah, I'm going to have some fun with this thing. In other words, bottom line is thanks for all the comments and suggestions from everybody. Yeah. I think somebody said you wire in a 280 ohm resistor or something ahead of the LED. Yeah, comments like that I really appreciate, because these are things that I don't know. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't know. Okay, let's get back to the model ship. Now, what I used to do in the past, if I wanted to make up a breadboard, I would go to into my scrap wood box down in the workshop, or wherever I happen to be, and I just want to make sure now. I don't want to be nipping off the peg. Okay, and I would drive a bunch of little finishing nails in some sort of a grid pattern into it, and then I would use jumper cables, like wires with alligator clips on the end, and I use that sort of thing. And sometimes I'd find out that the piece of dry wood that I thought I had was actually kind of green, and it was acting like a resistor. Now, most of the time that kind of thing worked quite well. And anyway, I better stop reminiscing here, or I'm going to end up making a mistake and cutting off something I shouldn't here. I suppose maybe by rights I should try and do a good job. Well, I don't want this to look flat-sided. This is the capstan for one of the little things that we're going to be making. Okay, I'm just going to continue on here. I don't know how today's episode's going to go. As you can see, the time is getting on, and I'm not getting much done. Okay, this is going to be part A. And you can see here that we got these pegs have to go into these holes. That's going to help keep things lined up really nice. Now, usually what I'll try to do is hold something like this in my fingers, and it's just sort of borderline too small. And then what will happen is if the glue from this oozes out of the seam, excuse me, then what happens is I get it on my fingers, and we end up with fingerprints here. So yeah, maybe if I was to hold, if I could hold this in the self-locking tweezer like this, and then where's okay, here we go. Get this turned over. Okay, it's supposed to go together something like this, and then just sort of touch the edge there on the seam, and just let it wick its way in, and try and squeeze this together. Then this cap part, whoops, the cap part goes on here. I don't know if I can do this on camera or not. That's sort of the fun about this, seeing how much of this I can actually do on camera. Maybe I'll just put a little on this peg, a little on this peg. Okay, I'll try and drop this down in place. I should maybe have the macro lens on, right? Now, can I squeeze that together without pulling it right out of the other tweezer? Yeah, a little bit. Let's see how that looks now. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, now maybe the easiest way to put this cap on the peg is put the peg into the cap. I mean the piece into the cap. I don't think we're getting any excess glue coming out there. There's probably a more awkward way to do this, right? See, part of the problem, folks, is that my fingers don't work quite like they did 60 years ago. Okay, let's put a little bit in there now. How is that going to fit? There we go. It's, I think once it's painted, it's going to be all right. And we could probably add more glue to this, but I really don't think we need to. I think it's going to be, just fine. All right. Oh, there's a little hole there. I didn't notice that before. I wonder what that little square hole is all about. I guess we have to try and stick something in there later. Okay, I've saved my favorite job until last, the photo etch. Those of you that know me well know that this is not my favorite job. So we need two pieces here, C19, for little railings for these right here. I don't know, we got time to do that today? Maybe just, we'll see what happens here. Okay, where's the C sheets? It's probably going to be one of these on each one of the C's, because I think there's two C's. Okay, so we need two number 19s here. And they've really held this thing down. One here. one here. One there. And there. I think what I'll do is I'll just turn this around. That way I can... Oh, it's getting caught on my masking tape here. All right. And where is it? 19. There it is. Okay. I think I've mentioned that before, but I'm finding that the PE parts on this kit are a little bit more, you might say, fragile than the ones on the other kits. Maybe it's just my imagination. Maybe I'm becoming more clumsy. Okay, there's been a bit of a change in plans here, and that is this. When this platform is fastened onto the side of the ship here and sticks out over the edge, something like that, it is not what I thought it was. I thought it had something to do with the companionway that was going to go down the side of the ship, but it isn't, because the way the railing is going to be shaped, it's going to be like a U all the way around the outside, and it had nothing to do with the ladder. So, yeah, it's just an observation platform. That's all it was. Sort of like a flying bridge, you know what I mean? However, I am not going to... yes, we will shape this railing, but I am not going to glue it onto this part. Because if we were to glue this part on now, with the railing attached, the chances of breaking the railing off are really, really good. I think I'm going to wait with the railing. Yeah, we'll shape it and everything and paint it maybe. Well, maybe we won't paint it. Maybe we'll paint it along with when we do all the other railing, you know. I'll just put it in a test tube and hopefully in a few months when we get to the doing the railings, that well then we'll stick it on. But something really fragile like that should be one of the last things to go on, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, let's see if we can shape it here. We still have a few minutes. Now, my experience has been that I'd want to use something a little bit smaller, in fact, quite a bit smaller than the radius of this platform. So I'm just going to eyeball it here and see, maybe a little smaller than that even. Okay, something like this. Because when I try to roll it back and forth, and if it's the exact size, it just doesn't quite bend all the way, if you know what I mean. Whereas with this, we're just gonna put it on here and just gonna roll back and forth until it looks about right, and then quit. Maybe I'll put the macro lens on. Okay, I am just realizing here there is stuff that I wanted to do this afternoon, and the time is getting on. So in order to be able to take my time at this and do it properly, I think I'm going to leave it until tomorrow's episode. So thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.